Hey guys, welcome back. Okay, I just want to do kind of a real quick video. It shouldn't take too long to do this one. I say that every time, but I think this time it's true. All we want to do is get our map to rotate. Fairly easy thing to do. There's a couple of wrinkles to it. Ooh, that's really loud. Hang on a second, guys. Super loud. Okay, what we want to do is get this to rotate. Kind of in sync with the camera. Okay, there's a couple of different ways to do mini maps. One way is to have it basically static, just like this is right here, and then have a little icon in the middle which rotates with the camera. The other way is to have the icon static, facing up, and have the map rotate. Either way is fine. I've seen both done in games. Personally, I happen to like the method of rotating the entire map. To me, that's more intuitive. It's just my personal preference. Of course, you're welcome to do it any way you like, but yeah, the same idea would apply to either way, whether you rotate the map itself or you rotate an icon, whichever way you prefer to do it. So let's get going on that. Let's see what we can do. So what I'm going to do here is let's create a C# script, and I'm going to call this what should we call this? Map rotate with camera, something like that. Okay, and then we're going to pop that open and bring it over here. Okay, so here we go. I shouldn't need collections for this. This is going to be a very simple script, and we won't need start. What I will need is a reference to the camera, the world camera. So let's go public camera, world camera, camera. Okay, and then I'm going to save that. I don't have my controls up here. That's all right. Okay, then I'm going to take that code, I'm going to pop open my map camera, and I'm going to drop that onto my camera. So what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to do a little bit of trickery. I'm not going to rotate these like couple of things in here at all. I'm going to rotate the camera itself. That'll make it look like the map's rotating, but actually it's the camera that's rotating. That means everything will stay synced perfectly fine just by rotating the camera, right? So that's what we're going to do. Okay, so we got the world camera. We want to take our main camera and drop them in here. And there you go, just like that. Okay, so let's think about this. What do we want to rotate? We want to rotate the camera along the blue axis, right? So if we're looking kind of straight at this map, it's this blue axis here that we want to rotate around, which is the z-axis. Okay, and we want to rotate it in relationship to if this was the world camera and we were rotating the world camera around this green axis, we want the green axis rotation to translate to that blue axis rotation, so it's the y translating to the z. Okay, that's what we're after here. Now you might think you can just go ahead and do this. Transform dot, what did I say, the z? Sorry, rotation dot z equals world camera dot rotation, sorry, dot transform dot rotation dot y. Okay, you might think, well, that'll work. Well, no, it won't actually. The reason being, and this is going to tell us right here why. Rotations are actually stored as quaternions, and if you don't know what a quaternion is, don't worry about it too much. Basically what it means is we cannot directly set the x, y, or z rotations in a transform like that. It won't let you set them directly. There's some trickery we got to do to get them to set ourselves. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a float angle. And what we're going to say is angle equals world camera dot transform dot Euler angle dot y. Okay. So I just got finished saying the rotations themselves are quaternions. So what this does is it goes to the transform and it translates that rotation into the kind of regular x, y, z angles you might be more familiar with. Okay, and we're just grabbing the y, so that's why we're going into a float. Okay. So now to set that into our the camera that we're attached to this script to, what we're going to say is actually I might as well just go ahead and use this. Just transform.rotation equals quaternion dot Euler. That's going to tell it we're going to give it 3 angles, and what we want is the transform dot Euler angle original x, the transform dot Euler angle the original y. We want to leave those alone, and then we're going to set the angle here. Okay, so we translated this from a quaternion, grabbed the y value and stuck it in angle, and then we set the new rotation of the thing we're attached to as a quaternion from the Euler angles, the original x, the original y, and we're changing the z, which is what we want to do, right? Okay, let's see what that gives us. Let's head back into Unity, and if we don't get any errors, I don't think we should. Let's take a quick look and see how that works. And there you go, look at that. Just that easy. We're nice and rotated. So as I turn the camera, the map turns. All right, one little tricky thing, we gotta, here, let me go over this wall. We gotta calibrate this, because I can tell you, just from my knowledge of the scene, if I go to the scene right now, the way I set this up, this is basically the way the map looks, right? So if we look down this corridor, which is what we're doing right now, this way should be north. If you look at the game right now, and we looked on that map, it says we're facing west. Well, okay, we could rotate the entire level to get it, them the same, but an easy way to fix that is just to head into our angle, and it should be subtracting off 90 degrees. Okay, so let's save that. Let's see if that's gonna, that might actually be, it's either going to be right or it's going to pointing us south. So let's find out. We got a bit of a delay as the game starts up. That's being caused by some of the scripts that are extraneous. Okay, we're right. This is north. So there you go. Very nice. Now north is actually north. Okay. Now let's think about this for a second. If I'm facing north and I turn to my right, I should be facing east. So let's see what happens if we do that. Right now the map is saying we're facing west. If you look at the map and you think of north being on your right, you would actually be facing west, right? And currently in the world we're facing east, so it's backwards. So it's rotating the wrong way. And if you think about it, that makes sense. Right? The camera should turn opposite the way the map turns. That's how this is going to work. So to fix that, I'm just going to throw this into some parentheses, and we're going to just make it the negative angle of that. All right. Let's go ahead and save that. Let's go ahead and start this up. hopefully as I clean out some of this stuff, I cleaned out a little bit of it, that startup should be faster. Some of that unused code is actually causing us to slow down, I think. Okay, so let's see if this is working. So we're facing north, and we're facing north. The map shows us facing north. Now we'll turn to our right, and we should be facing east. And there you go, look at that. As we turn to our right, we turn to the east, according to the mini-map. So there you go, it's working perfectly fine. So very cool. That's basically most of what I wanted to get done in this video. There's one little other wrinkle that I want to tackle that we might as well deal with. And that's going to be icons. Now, icons on the mini-map are going to tell you where certain things are. So let's just create like a little temporary icon. And I'm just going to create a real simple cube. And drop him over here. Nope, he's in the wrong spot. And he's tiny. Okay, he should be in front of the camera. Now let's see, let's get my map camera out. I can't even see him, I think he's too small. So let's go to our scaling tool, let's scale him up a bit. Let's go to our camera. And, oh, I still can't. Oh, okay. The reason I can't see him is because we need to put him into the map layer. Because like, remember, that camera will only render the map stuff. So let's. Whoops, that's not the right button. Well, that'd work. Actually, there he is. Although he's not in the right spot. He's causing problems, but okay. That's all right. There's a reason for that. Okay, let's throw I want to throw a material on him of some sort. It doesn't really matter what. Let me just find a quick material. Some textures. Ah, there we go. Okay, let's okay, we've got a material on him, but it's being affected by the lights. So let's change this over to UI. No, yeah, let's take UI, unlit, detail. There you go. Just something I can see. Okay, that's all I want. And let's take a look at the map camera and see where that is. It's a little small, so let's scale him up a little more. Yeah, that's pretty good. What I'm going to do is move him over so I can... There, perfect. So you can see where he is at the bottom here. So let's just say that's an icon. I mean, I know it's not, doesn't look like an icon, but we'll kind of just say for right now that's a basic icon that's on the map. And let's go ahead and look and see what that does. Now it's staying where we want it to stay, which is nice. You know, we don't want it to move around. But do you see the problem there? The icon itself is rotating. And it should rotate, but we don't want it to rotate around its own local axis. We want it to stay so its northern side is pointing towards the north, regardless of where, or pointing to the top of the screen, not really north. See, right here it would be upside down. We don't want it upside down. We want it right side up all the time. Okay, so what I'm going to do to fix that is I'm going to go to my script and I'm going to give another public boolean, and we're going to say icon. Okay, and we'll come back in here, come back into Unity, and we're going to throw go back up to our scripts and map rotate with camera. We're going to throw this thing onto the cube. Okay, and we're going to have to set the camera. Okay, now let's watch and see what that does. What we've just done is we've set up a rotate on this icon itself. And look what's happening. It's rotating. Kind of right along with the camera, right? Which is, it's staying in the right spot, but it's rotating. Now, that's kind of the right idea, but it's not rotating in the right direction. So I'm going to go ahead, let's see, we're on our cube. I'm going to turn on this icon button, and we're going to head back into our script, and I'm going to go in here, and I'm going to say if icon equals true. All right, fine, I won't be lazy. What I want to do with this guy is basically turn off that local rotation. So we're going to go transform.rotation equals, and I'm just going to copy all this stuff because it's the same rotation, right? The only difference is I'm going to give it the negative of the angle. Okay, so what that's going to do is, if we're dealing with an icon, it's going to rotate it back the direction that we already rotated the camera. Right. So this basically, this part right here affects the camera, the map camera, and causes everything in view of the map camera to look like it's turning, although it's really not. But this one will cause the angle of that icon to go back the other way. Okay. So let's go ahead and check that out and see what that does. Back into Unity. And there you go. Look at that. So no matter how we turn the map, the icon stays right side up. Right? Which is all we really want. So now, we basically got ourselves a system where we can put icons on the map and they'll stay where we want them to stay. And yet they'll rotate around so that they're always facing up. So yeah, pretty nice. Why are we stopping? What's going on right here? I don't know. Something was weird right there. So yeah, pretty good. So yeah, basically guys, we're really quite a ways into getting this map done. The only other thing that we have left to do is two things really. One, we gotta zoom into this map and then make it move around relative to where the position of the player is. Okay. The second thing we gotta do, oh, there's that catch again, right up against that wall. What's up with that? I don't like this camera system. The second thing we gotta do is the alpha mask, the bit that causes the map to be hidden. If we do those two things, we're in good shape. The second of those is non-trivial. So we'll get to that. Okay guys, is there anything else we want to do here while we're here? You know what we could do? Yeah, as long as we're here, there's one other thing we could do. And similar to what we have already done. So I'm going to create a 3D. In fact, maybe we'll just duplicate this one. And drag him over a little bit. Now, the thing is I got to get him in the middle. Let's see here. Need a little more space. Need to be able to see what I'm doing. I want him right in the middle of the map. It should be right about there. Okay. We need a player icon. So let's see. Somewhere I have already made, and I don't remember where I put it, so I gotta find it. There it is. Okay, so under the textures, I'm going to come in. I don't think I've already done this yet, so I'm going to come in and drop a new texture. There he is, map marker. We're going to change him to a texture. I'm going to turn off his ANSIO because we don't need that. And we're going to apply that. Go to advanced. We don't need maps. I'm gonna go ahead and okay, the rest of this is fine. Turn on alpha from grayscale and turn on transparency. Yeah. That'll give us a mask. I didn't create a mask for this yet. Alright, hang on a second, guys. Let's turn that off. Make a quick mask out of that. Okay, so we're going to also grab the map marker mask. There you go, same thing right of him. We're going to turn him into a texture. I do not need any ANSIO. We will create a alpha from grayscale, apply that. Very nice. And let's go to advanced. And we'll turn off bitmaps. I don't need bitmaps. All right. That's all we want. Okay, guys, so I'm going to take this guy right here. I'm going to change him into a custom UI. And transparent. Let's see. Did we make a material out of this? Where's your material? Okay, we need a material out of this. So let's just create one. Create a new material, and this will be the player marker material. Okay, custom UI transparent. Map marker and map marker mask. And then I'm going to go to materials, drag him over here. And there you go. Let's take a look and see what that looks like. Pretty good, although he's turning. We don't actually want him to turn. So let's go to that. Where is he at? Grab him. There he is. So change you to, oops, player map icon. And I'm going to drop him into the game manager. No, not the game manager, sorry, the map system. There we go. We're going to take off the script. So remove. I'm also going to flip him on the, which axis? So I want the Z axis, 180 degrees. So he's facing upward. And there you go. That's all there's to it, really. Very nice. I mean, I could adjust him later on. I'm not really sure about that orange color. I might have to change that. And obviously he's a little squashed, but whatever. It's got the right general idea. Actually, he should be rotating, shouldn't he? Come to think of it. I just realized I took off that script and I didn't want to. All right, let's go back into that script and put it back on. So map rotate with camera. Drop him back in here. This is an icon, and we got to set the camera. There you go. That should do it. Now oh, of course he's going to be upside down because yeah. because I'm affecting Z as it is. I can't change this. Okay. That's okay. How can we fix that? Let's go to textures. So let's go to my materials. Is there any way for me to fix that there? Not from here. I'm actually going to have to change that in Photoshop, I think. Unless I can bring it in, the texture in. No, I don't think so. There's no way for me to turn that around, turn it upside down. That's okay. What I can do is take it into Photoshop and flip it around, and that'll fix that. Map material, we go to texture, we drop them in here. Drop them in here. There you go. We run it. And there you go, guys. So there you go. All I did was take it into Photoshop. I flipped it back, flipped it around, and stuck it back in. So he's not quite centered. He's moving around a little bit, but we can fix that. And I'll fix the dimensions later when we get a little more zoomed into the map and it's a little more clearer. Where he's ought to be. But it's working. That's more or less what we want. So very nice. I don't like that color either. I thought that color would be nice, but it's actually, no, it's pretty hideous against the white. So we'll fix that. Okay, gang. Our next step is to zoom in on that map and get it to move around. So I think that's what we're going to do in the next episode. So I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks a lot.